Hello? Can you hear me? Aha. For some fucking reason, OBS decided to change my microphone. Yes, I think I wanna continue here. Cause it's damn OBS, true. How you doing, Game Master? Let's see, I just finished going through, door 4. So I learned about a painting that everybody around the world suddenly could recognize because they showed a video of it on the news. Not too bad. Copy of Chrono Trigger arrived. Oh hell yeah! You're building your national decks. Sick. Can you get Pokemon off the DS games onto any of the Switch games? Is that possible? They step through the door to find themselves in a wide hallway. Junpei, June, Lotus, and Santa stopped for a moment and looked at their surroundings. A short distance away, a metal grate extended across the width of the hallway. I think you can. It's just a long process. Yeah, because you probably have to, like, somehow get them from DS to 3DS, and then from 3DS to Pokemon Go, and then I guess from Go to Switch. They took hold and shook, but it refused to move. Nearby was a pair of elevators. It took only a few button presses to determine that the elevators would not respond to their efforts. That requires transporter bank from 3DS, then to home. Yeah. They can only assume the elevators were not powered. There was only one door left. Well, looks like we don't have any choice. Yeah. Sure does. Well then, let's open it. Junpei grabbed hold of the knob and quietly pushed the door open. He entered slowly, trying to take in as much of his surroundings as he could. The others followed shortly. Oh, so it's a kitchen. Santa did not look pleased. Oh, what were you expecting? Isn't it obvious? The exit. I was hoping this would be the way out of here. You really think it'd be that easy? Yeah, I know, still. As they talked, Lotus headed deeper into the room. Until at last she stood in front of a door. If we can just get through this door, we should come out on the other side of that grate we saw earlier. But don't we need a key for that? Sorry, I guess that wasn't very constructive. Neither Junpei nor Lotus looked terribly happy. Junpei dug the ship map from his pocket and spread it out in front of him. As he did... Hey! What's that? Huh? Oh yeah, I guess I forgot to tell you. I found this a little while ago. It's a map of the B deck. Before Junpei could finish, Lotus snatched the map away from him. She ran her finger across it, muttering to herself. I knew it. See, look. Junpei did as he was told. Santa and June moved over to look at the map as well. She returns. See? We came in here. If we go out there, then we'll be on the other side of the grate. With her finger, Lotus traced a path on the map. She was right. Satisfied that she had been correct, Lotus folded the map and handed it back to Junpei. He took it and slid the valuable piece of paper back into his pocket. Hey, welcome in, Cactusay. How you doing? There's a card reader on the right side of the door. Then that means the key card is somewhere in here, right? That seems the most likely. Alright, we know what we need to do then. Let's get puzzle solving. First off, I say we split up and look for clues, gang. Okay. I gotta get as much done as I can before Andrew goes live later. Everything going well today so far? The next thing's today to go wrong. Oh no! No, hopefully nothing goes wrong. Those 9 plates look pretty expensive. Of course there's 9 of them exactly. They're plates for appetizers. Remember, appetizers usually come on square plates. Okay, well, excuse me, princess. Junpei knows about Zelda CDI? That's funny. A voucher. It says appetizer 9, meat dish 10, soup A, seafood dish F. 1, 2, 3, there's 10 of them. If you flip these over, they look like hats. Middle is super deep for a plate. They're soup plates? They're made that way so that the soup doesn't spill. If we ever get out of here, you should treat yourself to a nice dinner out, you uncultured swine. Makes you think a poor college student has the money to do something like that. Yeah, she gets to do more Chrono Trigger. I think there are 15 of these plates. I'm assuming they're for seafood. How the hell can you tell that? They look just like any other plate from the 99-cent store. If you ever take a lady out to dinner, you're going to embarrass yourself. I feel sorry for June. What? Why the hell are you bringing up June? The lady doth protest too much, methinks. You are not terribly subtle. Damn. It's a bunch of little wavy ridges on this plate. Those plates are for serving meat. Ugh, you really are ignorant, aren't you? Come on, it's not like I need to know this crap. Jeez. It's a tank with a pipe coming out of it. Nothing really that special about it. A countertop? We've got a rolling pin and a colander. Nothing useful, in other words. Wait, what's the layout of this place? Okay, so to my right there's a thing. Wow, this pot looks like it's made out of silver. I bet drinking tea from this pot would be really yummy. Spending a day off with June drinking tea. Could such a day ever happen for me? Jumpy? Oh, nothing. We don't really need hot water, so we should be moving on. But what if we do need hot water? Oh shit. Is that bread? Oh no, that's cheese. Hey, something behind the cheese. You're right. Why don't we move some of the cheese? Alright guys, time to move it. Gina and I need to look behind you. There's a little green bottle back there. Mine now, suckers. Who puts olive oil behind cheese? Oh look, cooking oil. You'd probably use this to make something slippery. That's a weird way to say that. Ooh. A knife for killing. Wisconsin would have a field day. A rusty knife. I don't think we'll be able to use it while it's like this. It seemed important, Junpei thought, but it wasn't going to be much use the way it was. It's futile. Futile? You know, a waste. Useless. Pointless. Oh. Any particular reason you wanted to bring that up? Oh, no reason really. I was just thinking about futility. She wasn't making much sense. Junpei tried rephrasing his question. Why were you thinking about futility? At last she answered. Well, it has something to do with the Titanic. The Titanic? Yeah. Have you ever heard the story that the sinking of the Titanic was predicted? No, I haven't. What is it? In 1892, 14 years before the Titanic sank, a novel was published. It was called Futility. It was written by an American novelist named Morgan Robertson. The story was about a big cruise ship colliding with an iceberg and sinking. Of course, if that was the only similarity, there wouldn't be any reason to mention it. It wasn't, though. The name of the ship, its nationality, course, departure time, size, displacement, maximum speed, number of passengers and crew, number of lifeboats, even the location of the accident itself and the cause, and the location of the damage. Everything matches the Titanic almost exactly. It was almost as if he'd seen the whole thing happen. But this book was written 14 years before the Titanic sank. But that's not all. It wasn't just Futility that predicted the sinking of the Titanic. There were two other similar stories written by a man named William Thomas Stead, both of them before the accident. One in 1886 and one in 1892. Stead wrote two stories that had striking similarities to the Titanic disaster. In one, two ships collided and many of the passengers died because there weren't enough lifeboats. In the other, a ship collided with an iceberg and sank. I don't know. I mean, I'll give you that it seems a little weird, but I'm pretty sure it wasn't too uncommon for ships to hit icebergs back in the day, or even other ships. Right. I knew you'd say that. Huh? But what if Stead had some sort of special powers? To be more specific, what if he had the ability to do automatic writing? What? Automatic writing? Wait, are you talking about that thing where someone says they're possessed by a spirit, and then they write a bunch of stuff without knowing what they've written? Yes. What do you mean, yes? That's just a load of bull. But Jumpy, you said you believe in curses. Come on, that's totally different. Okay, so let's say, hypothetically, that automatic writing isn't a total load. This guy still couldn't have predicted the sinking of the Titanic. When this Stead dude wrote this thing, nobody had died on the Titanic yet. So if automatic writing is about being possessed by spirits of dead people, who the hell possessed him so he could write that stuff? Oh shit, yeah. She's talking about ChatGPT. That's not it. What's not it? Stead wasn't possessed by a spirit. He was doing the possessing. What are you smoking? William Thomas Stead was a passenger on the Titanic. He just wrote down what he saw with his own eyes, 20 years before it happened. He decided it was probably best to say nothing. What June was saying was insane and utterly absurd. If he tried to take what she was saying seriously, he'd go mad. Junpei smiled uncomfortably. Well, why don't we talk about this some other time, okay? Huh? But... Her voice trailed off and she glanced at the floor, troubled. Junpei tapped June gently on the shoulder and awkwardly reached around her to pick up the knife from the box. Damn. He's not buying what she's selling. We're really in trouble. I know I'm just repeating myself, but this really is a futility moment. That blade is so rusty. Yeah, I know. I can't cut a damn thing with a knife like this. If we're gonna cut anything, we probably have to sharpen the knife. Yeah, makes sense. Is there anything else I need? So much stuff in here. Whole lot of cans. It's probably a pantry. There's milk in here? Milk in an iron barrel. Judging by the rust, it's probably really old. Maybe we shouldn't open it up. I don't think it'd be a pretty sight. Yeah, that's just cheese in there now. No, that's yogurt. It's a note. It's got a bunch of stuff written on it, but it doesn't look like a code or anything like that. Thanks, Santa. Alright, well obviously we need a code from somewhere. An iron oven. Looks pretty heavy duty. It's probably industrial quality. I bet you could cook anything with this. Anyway, let's have a look inside. Damn, I knew it. It's locked. Yeah, the fucking key code thing. We gotta solve the riddle. All we've got here is a pot and a frying pan. Oh, and a pressure cooker. Well, I guess we could use some of those as weapons. What kind of an idiot are you? You're gonna run around holding that thing while you're looking for the dead? Hey man, it was just a joke. Why so serious? Why so serious? Table is for food prep. Plates everywhere. Ah, to sharpen my knife. A whetstone? What are you planning to do with that? Oh shit, don't tell me you're gonna try and smash open the card reader. Are you an idiot? If you do that, then we'll never get out of here. Oh. Yeah, I guess that would be bad, huh? This whetstone's only gonna be useful if I need to sharpen something. Yeah, I mean, I do need to sharpen something. Maybe I'll use the whetstone to sharpen the knife. Blade to the knife is getting sharper by the second. I should be able to cut something pretty good with this. Wow, he took all the rust off. That's crazy. So, I guess you managed to sharpen the knife, Junpei. Who are you gonna stab with that? No one. You could probably cut something soft with that. What the what? How the fuck did you say it like that? A sink? It's still got water in it. There's a couple of plates in there, but I don't think they're gonna help us much. That blade is clean for killing. Yeah, if Junpei wanted, he's got a weapon now. Trash can. Nothing inside. Well, better than being full of rotten food, I suppose. I think I already saw that. Really? It doesn't let me pick up the rolling pin? That's wild. Wait, what? I need to cut something, but what? Yeah, true. Sharpening a blade takes a while. This table looks really old-fashioned. Probably means this is an old boat. Huh. Yeah, I don't have a code yet. Damn, it didn't work. It doesn't matter how many times you try it. This door isn't going to open until we've solved all the puzzles in this room. Sure, this is all just part of Zero's plan. I just can't imagine what his motives could be. Yeah, not this door. Is there another door I can go through? Oh, there's a grill. Alright, it's going. Do you think this was all part of Zero's plan? Probably. Kinda hard to believe there's a chef on board somewhere. I wonder what this drawer is. You see the metal grate on top of the grill? They make it like that so that the fat and juices can drip off the meat while it cooks. Looks like the area under the plates open up. No, you can't. I already checked. It's sealed shut. I think that's where the coal goes. Okay, so we have a grill. Aha! This bolt is rusted in place. It won't budge. Of course. Maybe if I put some olive oil on it. Hey! Just a little bit of oil and... Come on, come on. You little son of a bitch. Whoa! Ah, yes, got you, little bastard. You did it, Jumpy. You're so smart. Yeah, if you don't have WD-40, just get you some olive oil. As Junpei walked into the room, a blast of cold air washed over him. Almost instinctively, he folded his arms tight across his chest, doing what he could to conserve body heat. Oh, so cold in here. What is this place? Are you blind? It's a freezer, idiot. Santa's teeth had already begun to chatter. Hardly surprising. The freezer was far too cold for someone dressed as he was. Lotus, however, was in an even worse situation. Oh, no way. That's way too cold for me. I'll freeze solid in seconds. Sorry, but I'm afraid I'll have to pass on this one. I'm gonna leave the rest to you. And with that, she ran out of the room. As Lotus left, June came in. Whoa, it's really cold in here. White puffs of steam hovered in front of their faces as they talked. June had already started to shiver. Hey, you don't need to be in here. You had a fever just a little bit ago. You should stay outside, we got this. No, I'm fine. My fever's gone now. But... Junpei had scarcely opened his mouth when the thunderous sound of metal upon metal rang out from behind them. In unison, they spun around to find that the door they had only recently come through was closed. Huh? Junpei rushed to the door. Desperately, he grabbed hold of the doorknob. Ow! It was cold, beyond cold. Merely touching it was painful. The doorknob had been frozen solid. They quickly deduced that the pipe next to the door had ruptured. Water released by the rupture had hit the door and frozen instantly. Santa shoved Junpei aside and pounded against the door. Hey, Lotus! You're out there, right? Open the door! She wasted no time in responding. What do you want? What's going on? The door won't open! Try opening it from that side. Please! Ugh, fine. If you say so. Hold on. Alright, Cact. Soon they could hear Lotus on the other side of the door. Then the grunting ceased, and they could hear light panting as if from exertion. It's no use. It won't budge. Got more people in there, you figure it out. Oh. God damn it. Santa was shaking like a newborn deer. June was hugging herself and was shivering violently. Even Junpei, with the heaviest clothes on it of any of them, was clearly feeling the cold. With every breath they took, they could feel the cold working its way deeper and deeper into their bodies. Anyway, let's find a way out. If we don't get moving, we're gonna be permanent residents. Two heads are better than none. I'm sure we'll figure something out. Yeah, you're right. Let's just take a good look around this room, okay? Right. They pushed in close to one another and began to search. So we have to escape a room within the escape room? I can't believe it. Frozen chicken. It's really hard. It's frozen stiff. Hey, June, can you say that again? Eh? Say it again. It's really hard? Again, it's really hard. Thanks. Something wrong, Junpei? Your face is bright red. Nothing, I'm fine. If it's that hard, you could probably use it as a hammer. Yeah, good point. Maybe we could use it to break something. I can't believe this fucking horn dog is about to die from the cold. Dry ice? Can't you make that stuff cause an explosion if you seal it in something that's airtight? Explode? Yeah, didn't you do that in school? You should never underestimate the power of expanding gas. Alright, so we just gotta heat up dry ice. Junpei picked up the dry ice with his sleeves so as to avoid burning himself. Dry ice is just frozen carbon dioxide, right? Yeah, it is. I wonder how warm it has to get for it to turn back into gas again. Hell if I know. How's that gonna help us anyway? Oh, well, I figured we might be able to use it to get out of here. They were about to move on when June spoke up. Carbon dioxide's sublimation point is negative 109 degrees. Any warmer than that, and it'll turn into a gas. Any lower, and it becomes a solid. Junpei looked at her, dumbfounded. Oh yeah, there's a ton. Japanese cover art has boobies. That's funny. How do you know that? Teehee. Despite my looks, I'm the queen of random knowledge. Looks bad to mess up when you're showing off. Rough. Oh, you're so cold. Your mouth's going numb. Yuff. What's white? You're just doing that on purpose, aren't you? June giggled and did her best to hide her guilt. At least she still was feeling good enough to joke around, Junpei told himself. Ah. Come on, guys, don't you think that's kind of weird? Wonder why it doesn't turn into a liquid first. Santo is now shivering at an astounding rate, but his curiosity seemed unaffected. Junpei, however, was not in a mood to discuss science. Yeah. Did seem rather odd to Junpei, and he couldn't help but think about it. June answered. But it can turn into a liquid. Carbon dioxide turns to a liquid if you put it under high enough pressure. But at 1 atmosphere normal air pressure, it won't turn into a liquid, right? That's right. Instead of melting, it'll do what's called sublimating, and change immediately from a solid state to a gaseous one. See, that is weird. Water's a liquid between 32 degrees and 212 degrees. So why isn't that the case for carbon dioxide? June replied with an answer that stunned both of them. Yeah, the FF magic cards look so cool. I hope I can get some of them. The Queen of Random holds up a spork. Yeah, that's totally early 2000s internet humor. There's a kind of ice that doesn't turn into liquid when it goes above 32 degrees. Huh? I heard about it. Its melting point is 96 degrees. Ice with a melting point of 96? You mean there's water that freezes at 96? Yeah. Well, you could also look at it as ice that won't melt until it's 96 degrees. Water that freezes at 96? Ice that won't melt until it's 96? Junpei was cold as hell, but this was too interesting to ignore. He did his best to warm up by rubbing his arms and stamping his feet, then put the question to June. So what's this ice with a melting point of 96 degrees called? I heard it's called Ice 9. Ice 9? Originally, Ice 9 was a made-up substance invented by a science fiction author. But recently, scientists have discovered that such a substance actually exists. Wait, hold up. So, is this thing called Ice 9? Or is it water? Like I said, if the ice is over 96 degrees, it'll be liquid. If it's under that, it'll solidify. So you could think of it as a polymorph of H2O. Here, think of it like diamonds and graphite. They're both made of carbon, right? But depending on the structure of the crystallization, the hardness and structure are completely different. So you're saying normal water and this Ice 9 are like that? Yep. She wasn't finished. Have you heard the story about the crystallization of glycerin? For 150 years after this discovery of glycerin, people cooled it, warmed it, and did all sorts of things to it. But whatever they did, it never crystallized. However, one day in 1920, some glycerin that was en route to England by ship was discovered to have crystallized during the trip. Naturally, scientists worldwide wanted to research this new crystallized form of glycerin and began asking for samples of the seed. A seed is, of course, a sample of the original crystallized substance. With a seed crystal, further crystallization of glycerin would be a simple matter. However, something very strange happened. Not only did the glycerin encouraged by seed crystals begin to crystallize, nearby samples did as well. It didn't end there. After that day, all glycerin in the world began to crystallize naturally when cooled to less than 64 degrees. Before that day, no matter how glycerin was cooled, it refused to crystallize. But once the crystallization had begun, it was almost like, how do I put it? It was almost like all the glycerin in the world was communicating. Communicating in some way that we can't sense. This is just like the story that, Seven told us with that other chemical. Junpei was kind of annoyed. No. Was honestly impressed. It was in fact a pretty interesting story. Wow. That's pretty interesting. But what does that have to do with Ice 9? To his surprise, it was Santa, not June, who answered. What she's saying is that it's a lot like Ice 9. What happened, I mean. A lot like? That would be bad. If water everywhere started freezing at 96 degrees, man. It'd be the end of the world. Junpei felt that Santa might not be treating the idea of the end of the world with the proper concern. At any rate, we're not going to have to worry about the end of the world, unless we can get out of here pretty damn quick. He was right. Junpei shivered. Alright guys, I think that's enough of that. I didn't think we'd get quite this far, off topic. I mean, I know I'm kinda at fault here, but we can't be screwing around anymore. Seriously. I might go by the name Santa right now, but I didn't grow up in Iceland. I don't think Santa grew up in Iceland either. Friggin' hate the cold. So let's get cracking, alright? We gotta find a way out of here. Santa stomped off, clearly doing his best to pretend the cold wasn't affecting him. Yeah, I'm not paying attention that much for cardboard. €125 each for the collector's commander decks. Insanity. Wait, really? That's so expensive. Holy shit. Selfish, isn't he? Thought Junpei to himself. Still, Santa was right. It was high time they got back to their search. The story of Ice 9 had him interested, but there'd be time to think about that once they'd gotten out of the freezer. Junpei looked at June, nodded, and resumed his search of the room. This thing's frozen solid. This pork? Yeah, seems like it. What's this thing? It looked like a tag or something. Ooh, a code in my pork? Jumpy, is there a slip of paper in that meat? I think there's something written on here, but I can't quite read it like this. If we try and pull it out, it'll probably rip. You need to defrost that. Don't think we're gonna be doing that in this room. Everything's frozen in here. Doesn't look like there's anything else interesting. Ooh, a water bottle. A bottle of water. I'm so sorry. A water bottle? Yes, it is. That's all you guys have to say about that? Yeah, fortune porky. Sturdy rope. It's a rope. Well, we could use it to attach something to something else, I suppose. Yeah, that is usually what rope does. Isn't anything else here that looks useful? Okay, so we looked at all that. I could go for pork chops? Yeah, that sounds good. There's water dripping from this pipe. Looks like when the pipe burst, the water hit the doorknob and froze it in place. This water actually seems almost warm. Let's bottle that up. It's warm water flowing from the pipe. Okay, maybe not. Maybe it just needs more of a shock, you know? More of a shock? Use the hammer chicken. Aw. Hey, Junpei. Didn't you find some dry ice earlier? Yeah. There's warm water coming out of that pipe. Warm water and dry ice. What do you think would happen if we put that stuff in a sealed container together? Thank you for the answer, my friend. Wait, what? Wait, what the hell? Am I stupid? Hey, Storms. Dryas, maybe. Yeah, I know that. But when I tried to use the water on the pipe, it didn't work. Yeah. Water bottle? Bro. Am I missing something? Oh, wait, hold on. Use the hammer chicken to break up the dry ice. Alright, the dry ice is all in pieces now. Now we put it in here. I'm gonna put these pieces of dry ice into the water bottle. Water bottle with dry ice in it. Now I can do this. What? Not yet, Junpei. We're not gonna get the result we want unless you can hook the bottle to the doorknob somehow. It's gotta explode right next to the ice on the doorknob. You figure out a way to attach the bottle to the doorknob. Well, yeah, duh. But wouldn't you want to fill the water first? Let's just tie a rope on here. Water bottle bomb. Hey, why don't we use that rope to tie that bottle to the doorknob? Just have to put some water in it, and then we can give it a good whack with something. Kaboom! Explode and break the ice off the door. Then what are we waiting for? Can't take this cold any longer. Warm water dripped from the ruptured pipe near the door. Junpei pulled out the water bottle, filled the dry ice, let a good amount of water fall in, and then quickly sealed it up tight. The makeshift bomb complete, he tied it to the doorknob as quickly as he could manage in the cold. Bomb bomb bakudan! Alright, that's set. So, what do we do now? We just need to give it a little, tap. Bottle's already about to pop. If we just throw a rock or something at it, it'll go off all on its own. A small rock. A small rock? Junpei looked down at the floor. Scattered across it were pieces of dry ice left over from the larger chunk he'd crushed earlier. Alright, this ought to do the trick. Pulled his sleeve down over his hand to keep from getting burned and grabbed a chunk of dry ice. It's a pretty good size. About as big as a pool ball. Figured it would be just about the right size. Alright guys, stand back. Actually, we should probably hide somewhere. Both Santa and June looked at him with new concern. Where exactly do you expect us to hide, genius? There isn't really anywhere big enough. Yeah, there is. Look, right there. We can hide in there. Junpei pulled open the door to the small cellar. Come on, everybody get in the cellar. Santa and June nodded and jumped down into the hole. Junpei quickly followed. In his hand he could feel the chill of the frozen carbon dioxide even through his sleeve. He tightened his grip, took aim, and prepared to throw. Alright, here it goes. 3, 4, 5. You're counting the wrong way. Oops. That is a really sad excuse for a joke, man. Sorry, dude. Alright, for real this time. You guys ready? Yes. Whenever you're ready. Just throw the damn thing. Alright, here I go. 3, 2, 1. Kaboom! Junpei threw the chunk of dry ice as hard as he could. With the same motion, he ducked down into the cellar with Santa and June, just as... Big explosion. Junpei leapt up out of the cellar and ran to the door. Yo, congrats! You got all the legendaries too? Jumpy! The ice on the door, is it gone? Yeah, it's gone. The blast must have shattered it. Yes, alright, let's see if it opens. Junpei grabbed the knob and pushed with all his might. I think I ate something that... Oh no! I'm sorry, Cact. I hope you feel better. The door gave way easily. All 3 of them tumbled out of the freezer at once. Hooray! We're out! June, relieved, collapsed onto the floor. Move! Santa shoved past Junpei and ran straight to the grill, which he immediately grabbed. Ow! God damn it! Hot, 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 hot! Fuck! He proceeded to kick the grill in a futile but amusing fit of rage. Why would you grab a grill that's on? But where was Lotus? It took Junpei only a moment to find her. She was sitting on the counter, idly scratching her chest. Welcome back. I was starting to get tired of waiting for you guys. With a great yawn, Lotus lowered herself off the counter. Junpei clenched his teeth and walked toward her. What were you doing? What do you mean, what was I doing? I was waiting. We were gonna die. Oh yeah? But you didn't, so everything worked out alright, didn't it? What the hell? Just kidding. Might not look like it, but I was really worried. Don't give me that crap. I'm telling the truth. I mean, if you died, then I'd be in trouble too. If you died, then I'd be stuck here, and I'd die too. See? I did all I could. I even looked around to see if there was anything I could use to pry open the door. But I couldn't find anything. So all I could do was wait. I mean, what else did you want me to do? Call the cops? Lev still hates Lotus. It's true that there wasn't much she could have done, but something about her tone. Junpei gritted his teeth. Fine. There's one thing I have to ask you. What's that? You didn't close the door, did you? What? You think I closed the door on you? Why would I do something like that? Closed on its own. I told you before, if you die, then I die too. She was right, and Junpei knew it. Without them, she'd be in very serious trouble. It seemed that an accident was the only explanation for the door's closure. If Lotus had really wanted to kill them, all she would have had to do was bar the door from the outside. And she hadn't. Well, she hadn't done anything. The most she was guilty of was laziness, or negligence, not attempted murder. Junpei swallowed his anger and did his best to apologize. Well, I'm sorry. I'm sorry I doubted you. Oh yes, well, that's alright, as long as you understand. Lotus looked away and twirled her hair between her fingertips. His vengeance against the girl complete, Santa Wake swaggered back toward Junpei and Lotus. Hey, no more screwing around, you two. Break time's over. Especially for you, lady. You've just been sitting on that fat ass of yours while we were freezing to death. How rude. I was plenty busy. Yeah, how about you put all that energy into something besides bitching? Let's go. Jeez. Santa's ruthless. Alright, chat. Wait, my hammer chicken's gone. I'm so sad. Guess I'll put this meat on the grill. Hey, what are you doing? What are you gonna do if the paper burns? Come on, it'll be fine. I mean, it's not like it's gonna burn right away, right? We just gotta keep an eye on it and the paper will be fine. Rest in peace, Hammer Chicken. Well, they can argue all they want. I'm gonna keep an eye on this pork. Cool, looks like it's about time. I'm gonna try taking the paper out. Jumpy, be careful. Sweet of her to care, but I know what I'm— Ow! See? I told you. Hey, what the hell are you doing? Hurry up and take the paper out. It's not coming out. This thing's frozen stiff, I can't get it out. So are we going to have to cut the meat? Yeah, looks that way. Well, it's a good thing that I have this knife that I sharpened for a whole hour. Alright, now that I've sharpened the knife... Yes, I cut the pork. Awesome, Junpei. Now we can cut out the paper. C plus 10 plus F? Hey, chat, look, we got the pork note. C plus 10 plus F. Do you think it's some kind of code? Damn it, they're just screwing around. Junpei, do you know what C and F stands for? I think it means corporate finance. Yeah, F in hexadecimal is 15. C is 12? I thought it was clever and funny. So 12 plus 10 plus 15. Oh, god damn it. Where's the safe? There we go. Yeah, I doubt I'm adding them together, so... This is probably what you're supposed to use to enter the password. Maybe if we put in the right number, it'll open the oven door. Junpei, maybe the note you found earlier. Yeah, I know. Do you know how to enter those numbers? I think E is for enter and C is for clearing. So basically, when I'm ready to submit my answer, I press E. So if I screw up, I just press C, right? Lotus nodded. Interesting. Why does it start at 10? Alright, let's give it a shot. So maybe it's... Whoops. 12, 10... Oh, okay, no. So it is just all of them added together? So, 37? Maybe it's not hexadecimal? So would that just be 8 plus 10? Hmm. Wait, what the fuck? Oh, digital root. Yeah, you're right. Do you think the note we found in the pork wasn't a hint? C plus 10 plus F. There aren't any letters on the input device. Maybe if we can find a way to convert letters to numbers. Oh yeah, the voucher we found next to the plates had some letters on it, didn't it? Maybe they've got something to do with it. The voucher next to the plates. Right. The one that told me the meals and stuff. Lotus, you can actually cook? Who the hell do you think I am? You'd better believe I know how to boil hot water and put it in my instant noodles. Hey Mlep, it's you! I can't believe you're in the game. And I can boil eggs too. It's a voucher at the end of the counter. This voucher doesn't match the number of plates on the table. It says appetizer 9, meat dish 10, soup A, seafood dish F. So okay, the F is the last one. But what is C? Is C chicken, you think? And the plates on the table are 9 appetizer, 16 meat, 10 soup, 15 seafood. Wait. Maybe they're using hexadecimal here. And hexadecimal is... It's a number system that goes 8, 9, A, B, C, D, E, F, 10, 11. You're familiar with base 10, right? That's a normal system of numbers. The base 10 equivalent for hexadecimal numbers would go like this. A is 10, B is 11, C is 12, D is 13, E is 14, and F is 15. And 10 is 16. The 10 becomes 16 in base 10. I know it sounds strange, but you can think of it as just 6 letters added on to the normal number system after 9. What? No, Mleb, she's you. She's just quoting you. So wait, okay. If 10 is 16, that means it's 12 plus 16 plus 15. So 38, 43, 53. So it'd be 53, right? Every base is base 10, really. Press F. Press X to doubt. I think I get it. So yeah, the 10 in the pork note is actually 15. Or 16, sorry. So, yeah, 28, 38, 43, not 53. It's actually 17. Oh my god. It's probably what you're supposed to do to enter the password. Maybe if you put in the right number, it'll open the door. Jinpei, maybe the note you found earlier. Yeah, I got it. I know. I've already heard this. There we go. Sounds like metal is falling. Well, I guess that went well. Yeah! The door opened. Good job, Jumpy. The Saturn key card. This looks like a lowercase h, but the line next to it is throwing me off. This is the symbol for Saturn. Remember, there was an elevator next to the main staircase. Wasn't there a mark like this on the card reader next to it? Oh yeah, I remember that. I guess that means that card ain't gonna help us get out of this room then. I'm not sure. Why don't we try it out? It's definitely gonna get us out of the room. I hope. Yes! I think it's unlocked now. You did it, Jumpy. Let's get out of here. Yes, let's go. Huh? I've never heard that about Saturn. We made it out, chat. No, I'm not quitting. But I am gonna run the ads, because there's like a few minutes before they go off, and then we will continue on. So I'll see you back here in a few minutes. The ads, they have been defeated. Thank you in your efforts to fight off the ads. They stepped out of the kitchen and into a hallway that looked rather familiar. A metal grate stretched from wall to wall. Beyond it were 2 elevators and the entrance to the kitchen. They had entered the kitchen from one door and come out of the other. That meant their map of the ship's interior was accurate. Yeah, true. Mlep's perfect at avoiding ads. Samsung likes it long. Oh no. They laid the map out in front of them and began to discuss their next step. There were 4 possible routes: A, B, C, and D. First, A and B. A and B both seemed to connect to an L-shaped room. However, the 2 doors that led to the room were both locked and could not be opened. Next was Route C. This goes all the way to the main staircase. That means it's door 5, one of the numbered doors. Then, do you think we would meet up with the other 4 after this hallway? No, I don't think we will. Why not? Look. There, by the stairs. See how the gate is opened? When we went into the kitchen, it was closed. But it's open now. What do you think that means? Let's rate Andrew with Samsung likes it long. Yeah, I like Rip Hammer Chicken, but I'll put it to a vote when we get to Laughing Boy time. Most likely. Then, if we take Route C, we're going backwards. That would be pointless. Then that means, obviously, we go down those stairs. All 4 looked at the map. They all looked at the staircase, its lazy curve leading down deeper into the ship. Route D, then. D it is. Yep, Route D. Then we're set. They jogged down the stairs until they reached the C deck. Just to be sure, they kept going to check the deck beneath. Yeah, just like I thought. Deck D is totally underwater. Just like the bottom of the central staircase. The water gazed back at them, its smooth surface like a great mirror. As ominous as it was, Junpei took at least some comfort from the fact that the level hadn't gone up much since the last time he'd seen it. They turned back to C deck. It didn't take them long to find the 2 elevators in front of the stairs. They looked identical to the elevators on the top floor with one exception. These elevators had a card reader on the wall between them. On the card reader was a strange mark. Hey, look, it's Lotus's symbol. Huh? See, it's the woman's symbol with a thorn on it. That seems like... Ow, 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 ow. Lotus had taken hold of Junpei's hair. She began to shake him violently, and he thought he heard a low growl coming from her throat. Such violence! Junpei began to wonder if she was not the devil itself. With an uncomfortable smile, June spoke up. This is a Mercury symbol. The thorn symbolizes the wings on Hermes' staff. Hermes, whatever. If we can't get this thing to work, these elevators aren't going anywhere. In other words, we need a key card with the Mercury symbol on it. Probably. They gave up on the elevator and returned to the stairs. A hallway stretched out to the left. A great many doors lined both sides of the hallway. They weren't sure how many, but certainly enough to be discouraging. Damn it! If we try and search all these, the sun's gonna go down before we've done half of them. I think the sun already set. I have a feeling this ship is the only thing that's going to be going down anytime soon. What the fuck does that mean, Junpei? That's even worse. Well, we can come back to this hallway later. Let's check the hallway on the other side, shall we? Frustration and fear building, they walked back to the stairs. To the right was a small hallway. Quickly, they headed into it. It was approximately the same size as the alcove in the front of the stairs. The hallway led toward the stern, and at its end was a set of double doors. Let's open it. The bird of Hermes is my name, eating my wings to make me tame. Huh? Junpei nodded and grabbed the one closest to him. He gave it a small tug and felt it move. It was unlocked. Thrilled to have found an unlocked door, he threw it open. We're about to see that weird ass, yeah, room with all the beds. Helsing Ultimate. Ah, simply stood, unable to speak. The others simply stared, open-mouthed. After a few long moments, Santa managed to speak. What the hell is this? A massive room stretched out in front of them, more a cavern than a room. Its vastness was oppressive, and it bore down on the four companions. It was not empty, however. The entire room was filled with lines upon lines of beds. They were simple things, little more than pipe and thin mattresses. Is this a hospital? He had at least been able to put a name to the harsh scent that pervaded the room. The room swam with the harsh, biting smell of antiseptic. Yeah, I wonder if I can't skip until the rest of the people get here. In the center of the room were shelves stacked with medicine, and a number of medical devices, the function of which Junpei did not know. More importantly, however, on the back wall of the room were 4 doors. 3 of them were emblazoned with large single-digit numbers made with thick red paint. Door on the left was 3. The second door on the left had no number, but the third had been given a 7, and the rightmost door had an 8. It did strike Junpei as strange, however, that the door between 3 and 7 should be blank. What, he wondered, could it mean? What indeed? Yes, that sounds like a good plan. Junpei headed towards the doors, weaving his way between the beds. Started with door 3 on the left and moved to the right until he reached door 8. Damn, shit's locked. It's no use. Well, of course. If it was that easy to open these doors, what would be the point in the nonary games? We have to activate the red, or the numbered doors won't. Wait a minute. What's wrong? Look, the display on the red. There's nothing on it. Huh? Don't you remember the red at the central staircase? If no one was inside, it said vacant. Oh yeah, you're right. But this one... there's nothing on it. Right. I wonder if it's broken. Only one way to find out. Nope. Shit's locked. It didn't respond. All 4 took turns placing their hands over the red, but it refused to respond. They pulled at the lever and still it did nothing. As they soon discovered, it was only the red for door 8 that was behaving strangely. Oh, it wasn't only. Red on door 7 also refused, and the door on 3 was similarly silent. None of them would respond. What did it mean? Haha, I knew it. They're broken. Zero sheer size of maintenance. No, that's impossible. You really think Zero, who prepared all of this, would make such a stupid, simple mistake? Maybe, but that doesn't explain why this thing ain't working. It was at that moment that they heard a voice from behind them. I believe the bottom of the device has been removed. They spun around to see... Snake! But it was more than just Snake. Ace, Clover, and Seven quickly filed into the room as well. Although they were glad to see one another, it wasn't terribly surprising that they had. If it had been the other party who'd opened the gate in front of the kitchen, it wasn't unreasonable that they'd bump into one another eventually. The rest of Snake's team, however, did look rather surprised. How?
How did you guys?
How did you end up here? After a moment of silence and surprise, everybody suddenly began to talk, desperate to exchange information. They talked about the rooms they'd been through and how they'd ended up in the same place. Of course, none of it was very useful information, but that hardly mattered. They were happy to simply see one another again. Although the level of cheer varied greatly from person to person, each one of them was wearing some manner of smile. Almost as though they had already forgotten about the death of the ninth man. No, thought Junpei, perhaps that wasn't it. Perhaps thoughts of his death were what drove them to smile at one another. Not in a morbid or hateful way, no, the ninth man had died. But they were still alive, and that was something to be happy about. A sort of simple, uncomplicated joy, Junpei thought, the joy of being alive. Still alive. He felt sorry for the ninth man, but more than anything, Junpei was just happy to be alive. Nobody cares about 9. There you have it, our half of the story. His part finished, Ace fell silent. For a moment, Junpei was silent in thought. Then he spoke. Okay, let me see if I've got all this straight. When you guys got here, the bases of the Reds were already gone. And you looked all over this room, but you couldn't find anything? So you figured that there might be something in the hallway with all the doors. So you went and had a look.
Yeah.
And while you were looking around, you heard voices? Uh-huh. So you followed the voices and came back here. Indeed. And that was how we found you. Junpei examined the 3 Reds again, just in case. But that's not Byakuya. On the bottom of each was a long, thin gap. It looked like a slot for something, probably something electronic. Well, this isn't good. If the red is inactive, we can't keep going. Well, what about the hallway over there? Isn't there anywhere else we can go?
No, there isn't. There are plenty more hospital rooms, but nothing else.
Hospital rooms? That's what's behind all those doors?
Yes. There are a number of individual rooms in addition to this large one.
There was a door at the end of the hallway, but it was locked. There was an astrological symbol engraved near the keyhole, however. I was able to get a good, feel of it. I believe it was the symbol of Jupiter.
Not again. Those goddamn things are everywhere.
Yeah. Well, Game Master, I already know all the characters in the sequel. So, like, that won't really spoil anything for me. But, I wonder what they all mean. For a moment, everyone was silent, deep in thought. While we're asking what things mean, what's the deal with this room? Oh, okay. I mean, I thought this was a cruise ship, but I can't imagine a cruise ship would have a hospital like this. Of all people, it was 7 who answered, and with calm confidence.
Well, I figure it's probably a hospital ship. Chances are it's the Gigantic.
The Gigantic? Junpei looked confused. I swear I've already heard this before. So did everyone else. What is the Gigantic? 7 knit his brows for a moment, then began to explain. Yeah, but I can't skip, because I'm holding the skip button and it's not letting me. So like maybe that means something is different? He explained that she'd a sister ship, Titanic, in the early 20th century. The game's a twat. who are identical to one another in nearly every aspect. The Gigantic was said to be one of them. No, yeah, I definitely read this, so I'm just gonna like mash through it. Yeah, Lord Gordane. He bought up the ship for his private collection. Yeah, because I swear I'm holding the right button for fast forward, but it's not working. So you're saying this Lord Gordane bought this ship?
Yeah, at least I think I am.
That's impossible. No way we're in the same boat that's almost 100 years old. Pipe down, just pay attention. What? That's it? Well, have you got any proof?
Proof?
Proof that this ship is really the Gigantic.
Well, this ship's got stuff that's like the Titanic and a hospital ship. So I just figured.
Oh, for goodness, don't tell me that's your only reason.
No, I've got more.
Like?
Well, I mean...
Seven looked around desperately, doing anything to avoid meeting Lotus's piercing stare. Yeah, no, I definitely read this.
I don't know.
Guess your memory isn't back yet, is it?
Yeah, sorry about that.
Yeah, because I already know that he lost his memory, too. Brother. Why does the text scroll so slowly? For not paying much attention to the story right now. Oh, it's okay, dude. I get it. Plus, you have 4 more playthroughs after this to pay attention to the story. So you've got plenty of time. $500 megs. Are you making new memes, Cact? Burn. It's midnight. Then we've still got 6 hours left, right?
We don't have any time to screw around. Let's get going. We gotta find the missing parts of the Reds.
What do you mean find? How on earth do you propose we do that?
We've looked everywhere in this room. That only leaves one place to look.
One?
Well, I guess that's not really right.
The hallways. Wait, don't tell me you mean we need to search all of the other rooms.
Don't freak out. We already searched 4 of them.
4 rooms?
We just have to split up the rest between the 8 of us. If each person does 6 rooms, that'll be 48 rooms, right?
So there are 48 rooms left? Earlier experiences had apparently not encouraged Lotus to trust 7.
I don't know.
Chosen. Yeah. Report their findings. Yeah, so I hope at this point it lets me skip again, because everything will be the same. Like, I assume Snake's going missing again, but maybe he won't. In the name of memes. Okay, thank God. I was getting so worried. Alright, chat, while we scroll for like 10 minutes, how are y'all doing? Move it like Sonic. Yeah, I mean, I'm just gonna pick all the options I already picked. Ooh, Dinton soon. Let's go. I mean, I have to go through door 7 again, which we also already did. So, you won't miss much if you go to dinner either. Then I just do this. Yeah, sure. Maybe there's someone else on the ship with us. You mean someone hiding here? Yeah. Well, I mean, it's just an idea. And you're saying this mystery person fixed the Reds? Yeah. Why? That's, I don't know. Santa shoved his hands into his pockets and cracked his knuckles. Seems unlikely. Why? I don't know, just a feeling. Hard to believe Zero'd bring in a secret 10th player. I mean, the name of the game is the Nonary game, for Christ's sake. You know what Nonary means, right? It means 9. No, that's not what I meant. I mean, more like someone who's been living here for a long time. Or someone who, like, stayed here. There has not been a 42 joke yet? Seriously? It's even more ridiculous. Why do you think Zero would leave them alone? Junpei furrowed his brow. So, in other words, one of us is the person who fixed the Red? Bingo. You can't trust anybody here. Alright, Ace is gonna take his drug. Working on a project. Ooh, fun. Suspect Lotus, got it. I don't know. I don't know if she's the Trixie type. Ace is like, I will sacrifice myself. Enjoy doing puzzles without me. Is it a USB-C port? Also, let's save. No, I don't need to quit. Alright, so we're going through door 7 again, because that is how we get this ending. So I'm very sorry. But it's going to be a lot of repeat for the next 20-ish minutes. Do-do-do. It's really funny when you zoom that, speed up that part. Yeah, just gotta get his lung out. Alright, let's see how much I remember without having to look up. Yep, need that. We get the organ. Got our key. Resets the HDMI connection. Oh. Right. Oh, I have to remember what these were. So carbon dioxide, ammonia, ethanol. How many elements are in each one? So the iron... Yeah, iron's there. That's salt, so I don't need that one either. NH3? Ammonia. Okay, so that's 4. CO2, so that's 3. So CO2 3, ammonia 4, and then this is ethanol. C2, H5, so that's 7, 8, 9. So 9 atoms. Okay. So 3, 4, and 9. Is that it? Yes. Sick. I'm surprised at how much I remember. Yeah, this is what he was talking about. Ethylene diamine tartrate. So EDT. And he was talking about how, like, all of it started communicating across the world. Yeah. Hey, that reminds me of something. Transmitting information in a way humans couldn't perceive. This phenomenon spread throughout the world, right? Junpei looked up at Seven with half a smirk. Seven stared at him, dumbfounded.
Yeah, that's exactly it. But how did you know?
I heard another story kinda like that one.
When?
In the freezer.
What? The freezer?
Junpei told Seven the story he'd heard from June in the freezer in the kitchen. How one day glycerin began to crystallize, and the story of ice that wouldn't melt at room temperature. When Junpei was done, Seven looked thoughtful and absent-mindedly rubbed the scar on his chin.
Ice that doesn't melt at room temperature, huh?
That sounds familiar.
Yeah, hold up. I feel like I can remember something. It's right there.
Seven squinted. His eyes stared off into space as if he were trying desperately to focus on something far away. Do you know about Ice 9? Do you know about Ice 9?
Ice 9. Ice 9, Ice 9. Ice, ice, ice. Ice baby. Dun 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 dun. That's it!
Suddenly, Seven's eyes shot open.
That's it! I remember now. That woman, she's on this boat.
That woman?
Alice!
Who's Alice?
Come on, the woman who won't melt at room temperature.
It became clear to Seven that Junpei had no idea what he was talking about. He ran his hand across his face and took a deep breath.
You know how the Titanic sank on April 15th, 1912, right?
Yeah. More than 1,500 people died. Worst maritime accident in history. What about it?
Did you hear about the boat that was sent to collect the dead bodies?
I think that was the RMS Carpathia, right? It was a cruise liner, just like the Titanic.
No! That was the ship they picked up the survivors. The ship that collected the dead bodies was the CS Mackay Bennett. The Mackay Bennett showed up on April 17th, 2 days after the accident. It set out from Halifax, a port in Canada, and recovered 306 bodies. The Atlantic that far north was really cold. It would have had to be for there to be icebergs and stuff. Anyway, the bodies they pulled out of the water were frozen solid.
This isn't a very nice story. So what happened next?
Well, they say the Mackay Bennett recovered something more than just dead bodies. There were various bits of stuff floating around in the water. Things the drowned had carried with them, or stuff dislodged as the ship sank. One of the things they found was a coffin.
A coffin?
Yeah, a wooden one.
The craftsman who'd made it must have been pretty skilled.
It was just a wooden coffin. It was all wood. There were no nails or reinforcements, and there were no gaps in the wood anywhere. It was airtight. The crew got pretty curious about what might be inside it and opened it up. They had to get a wedge and hammer it open. It was so well made. Inside, they found a woman, or I guess you should say they found the dead body of a woman. Her hair was thick and black, and her skin was deep brown and didn't show any signs of age or decomposition.
Hey, Subs. Welcome back.
They say that she looked gorgeous like a goddess. She was obviously dead, but everyone who looked at her said she just looked like she was sleeping. Her skin was so lifelike she looked like she might wake up any minute. She didn't, though. Like the rest of the bodies they found, she was frozen solid.
Yeah. I got to the 5th ending. So now I'm replaying it and doing some different rooms.
Eventually, the Mackay Bennett finished the search and returned to Halifax. The 306 bodies were unloaded and taken ashore. However, it was warm enough that they began to melt. They say that the stink was horrible. But there was one body that didn't thaw.
The girl in the coffin.
That's right.
Everybody thought for sure that she'd melt
And start to rot like the rest of them eventually. But weeks passed and nothing happened. Then a month had passed, and another, and it was summer and she was still frozen solid.
I got the ending where Lotus was stabbed, and then I presume whoever stabbed her stabbed me in the back, and then I bled out. So I never figured out who killed her or me.
After a while, people started to say she was some sort of miracle.
The knife ending. Is that really what it's called?
Rumors about the girl started to spread, and people came to visit Halifax from all over. After a while, people started to call her All Ice. Alice. Of course, those rumors didn't last long.
Why?
Well, she up and disappeared. One day, Alice was there, the next day she wasn't. They say someone snuck into where they were keeping her and stole the body. With the body gone, the rumors followed pretty quickly.
I believe it is the official name.
And after a while, no one remembered her. You might be able to find something about her if you could find a newspaper from back then, but that's about it.
Wait, you just said that she was on this boat.
Yeah, I did. Alice has gotta be somewhere on this ship.
Now why the hell would you say something like that?
'Cause I know.
And just what is it you know?
What happened to Alice after she was stolen?
Junpei gulped. Alright, tell me. What happened to Alice? Seven nodded slowly and took on the look of a man recalling something long buried.
Well, around the time, the word was that there was a thriving black market in New York. I mean, I'm sure there still is, but that was special. All millionaires from all over the world. I've heard that Alice went up for auction there. The person who won the auction was Lord Dashiell Gordain. You've heard that name before, right?
Sir Gordain, the guy that owns the Titanic too. Isn't he the guy who bought the Gigantic?
Yeah, that's him. Although I guess he hadn't done that yet.
What do you mean?
Gordain bought Alice in 1912. Then, 4 years later, in 1916, he bought the Gigantic. And he hid Alice somewhere on the Gigantic. But nobody knows where. He died in 1931.
Yeah. No. I was gonna post a picture of the characters from Birch's Last Reward, but then I was like, maybe I shouldn't.
However,
what?
Well, he did have one close friend who asked him, "Where is Alice?" And he said, "Alice sleeps in a small chamber past the Forest of Knowledge, beneath the navel of the Gigantic."
What the hell is that? Some kind of riddle?
Your guess is as good as mine.
Seven threw his hands up in defeat.
So that's it. Whatever you think, I believe it. She's hidden somewhere on the Gigantic. In other words, she's hidden somewhere on this ship.
She's hidden right past room number 2. Right in front of the 2-9 doors. Before Junpei could dispute Seven's rather bizarre claim, they heard Clover's voice from the door. She did not sound pleased. Hey! What are you two doing over there? Stop wasting time and get over here.
Okay, we're coming.
Ugh. Seven looked at Junpei.
Yeah, so anyway, that's the story. Might be useful someday. Don't forget it.
That cryptic remark, he turned and left the room. Junpei was left behind to ponder what he'd just heard. He tried to remember what June had told him earlier. That mummy wasn't just a normal mummy. They say that she was frozen. The story says that from the time of its discovery all the way through to when it got put on the Titanic, and even though it was carried through the desert, her body never melted. Was that Egyptian priestess Alice? Had the water in her body become Ice 9? No, that's nuts. There's no way somebody like that could exist. Junpei shook his head, trying desperately to clear it, and followed Seven to the operating room where Clover was waiting. Alright, just gotta do the other room now. Oh, come on. Come on, game, you know I have the key. Alright. First, let's do a little bit of red. Or blue. Then let's do red. Then we make a little bit of Borple. Oh, you can't open all three at once? Okay. I think that's everything I need. Oh, wait. Oh, yeah, I should, just so I know the number. So 53.2 and 51.3. Got it. Wait, what? Did I do this wrong? Oh, I had to click her? Fine game. Yeah. I think the solution was literally just swap everything except for their hearts. The Jupiter key. Yeah, we speedran the shit out of this room. Alright, so... Aha! New dialogue. Junpei, what do you want to do? Give her the 4-leaf clover. Yeah, it's her name. Oh yeah. He didn't know why, but suddenly Junpei remembered something he'd been given earlier. He reached into his pocket and dug it out. A 4-leaf clover. Santa had given it to him in the second classroom. He held it out to Clover. Did you know that each leaf on the 4-leaf clover means something? Hope, faith, love, and luck. Take it. Use it as a good luck charm. He pressed the 4-leaf clover into her hand. Listen to me, Clover. No matter what happens, you can never lose hope. You have to remember what's most important, and that's to have faith and to have love. If you can remember all of those, that'll bring you good luck. Snake, I mean, your brother, he's not dead. He's alive somewhere, I'm sure of it. You just gotta believe in that. Clover stared at the 4-leaf clover in her hand. He could see tears start to form at the corner of her eyes. Thank you. Her voice was tiny and broken, and as she spoke, she started to cry. She tried to hide her tears by looking at the floor, but it did little good. She wiped away tears with the baggy arms of her jacket, but more quickly took their place. No matter how she tried, she couldn't stop crying. Her tears made small wet circles on the floor. Thank you. She said it again. Then she looked up at Junpei and seemed to choke down the last of her grief. She did her best to smile. Junpei wiped an errant tear from her cheek with his thumb and gave her the best smile he could manage. Now come on. Seven's waiting for us at the exit. But still, she didn't move. Wait. Before we go, there's one thing I want to ask you. What's that? What do you think when you hear the word experiment? For a moment, his mind froze. Then he came back to his senses and realized the word meant nothing to him, aside from the dictionary definition. What? Oh, huh. I guess it was just a coincidence then. I mean, that you knew about the 4-leaf clover? Look, I'm sorry, I don't want to be a jerk, but you're making less than no sense right now. Oh, no, it's nothing. Just forget about it. Oh, don't give me that. You really think I could just drop this? What is this experiment you were talking about? Clover looked away. The 4-leaf clover was still in her hand. She stared at it for a long moment and then finally spoke. You promise you won't tell anyone? Cross my heart. Really? Really. I can trust you, right? Of course you can. Clover slipped the four-leaf clover into her pocket. Her eyes still red from crying, she looked up at Junpei. Okay then, I'll tell you. I'll tell you what happened on the ship 9 years ago. What? Wait. Cue the Punisher. Wait. On this ship? Yeah, this ship. He was entirely lost. He had 1,000 questions, but it was probably best, he thought, to save them until Clover had finished. It was an experiment to test some sort of psychic thing. Something about communicating through these fields that you can't see. Fields that you can't see? He'd heard something like this before. Clover nodded. Like, think about this. She pointed at the operating table. On top of it was a somewhat mismatched medical mannequin whose parts had been swapped with another mannequin. This is John, right? But is he really John? All Junpei could think was she had finally completely lost it. Isn't this Locke's socks? Or the ship of Theseus? Yeah. Junpei grew even more confused. He'd never heard of either of those things, although they sounded smart. You don't know? You haven't heard of those paradoxes? Junpei shook his head. Clover laughed. Okay, well, pay attention then. This is how Locke's socks works. Let's say I've got a pair of socks. They're my favorite socks. One of them gets a hole in it. What would you do if that was your sock, Junpei? I'd patch it up. Well, I guess I'd patch it up. Get some cloth and close up the hole. But what if another hole opens? I'd add another patch, I suppose. What if another hole opened after that? Another patch, I guess. Well, let's say you just keep adding new patches. Until eventually the original cloth of the sock is totally gone. Once you get to that point, can you really say they're the same socks you started with? That's tough. Junpei crossed his arms. So that's the Locked Socks thing? Yeah, the ship of Theseus is a lot like that. The ship of Theseus, if you keep fixing the damaged parts of the ship, eventually it ends up with none of the parts it started with. Can you really say that ship is the ship of Theseus that you started with? And what if you took all of the old parts from the first ship and built another one, somewhere else? Then which ship is the real ship of Theseus? The one you repaired, or the one you built with all the original parts? It was an interesting question. Clover could see Junpei was intrigued. Hey, do you think it's the same? What's the same? These guys. Is this John? Or is it Lucy now? Junpei looked at the operating table again. A mannequin full of body parts from a different body. Clover had been right. It was just like Locked Socks and the ship of Theseus. The part of the body that holds a person's identity is the head. Of course, for many hundreds of years, conventional wisdom had held that a man's identity resided in his heart, or any of a number of internal organs. John's head and heart were both his, but apart from that, and a single arm, the rest of his body had once been Lucy's. Was that mannequin really John? We're just like these mannequins. She looked at Junpei again. Think about it. The cells in our bodies change every day. Old ones die and new ones are born. Maybe part of my arm is made of stuff from a fish I ate once. Or maybe part of your right side is made from a cow you ate. If you take it a little further, those cows and fishes are made from something else too, right? That's how we're all connected. Through fields that can't be seen with the naked eye. The silence was broken by Seven.
Hey! What the hell is taking you two so long?
Seven's head appeared in the doorway. He was not happy.
How long are you gonna make me wait? We don't have time to screw around.
Junpei and Clover looked at each other. Clover looked at Junpei as if to say there was more she wanted to tell him. She shook her head. Whatever she had to tell him, she didn't want to tell him in front of Seven. Seven seemed to catch on.
Oh, what were you two doing? Is this some sort of secret meeting?
No, it wasn't. We were just playing with the mannequins.
Huh?
Let's go, Junpei. Moving a little bit too fast to be entirely innocent, Clover headed toward the exit. Seven stared after her, then turned to Junpei with an amused expression.
Playing with mannequins, huh? Didn't know you were into that kind of thing, Junpei.
You're a dick. Junpei dashed past him and traced Clover's path out the door. With a short laugh, Seven followed. They stood looking at the door. Junpei took out the Jupiter key. Well, we did it. Interesting. So I almost picked the correct path the first time. I guess 5 and 8 are the ones linked on the other route. The key?
Ain't that what I just said? I'm talking about the Jupiter key. We found it in the operating room. Right, Junpei?
Junpei nodded. Wait, did I not find this last time? I swear I did. Ah, the solar system keys. Actually, we found one in the laboratory, too. Here, the Earth key. Stuck out a still warm key with an Earth symbol on it. I might lose it. It'll probably be better if you hold on to it. That way it won't be my fault if it gets lost. That she pressed it into Junpei's hand. Felt slightly less than honored. As a group, they now had 3 keys that had not been used. The Jupiter key, which had been found in the operating room. The Saturn keycard, which had been found in the kitchen. The Earth key, which Lotus had just handed to Junpei. Junpei tucked the new keys into his pocket. June spoke up. The Jupiter key is supposed to be for the door at the end of that long straight hallway, right?
Yeah. If the map's right, then it connects to the central staircase.
Oh. Wait, what the fuck? I swear I read all that before. Did I get a different key somehow? No idea. You know, that's a good question. Junpei looked off into the distance thoughtfully. Lotus sighed and shook her head. I can't believe this. You guys followed me here, but you don't even know why. Junpei, you've got the solar system keys, don't you? He did. He pulled them out. Saturn keycard. And the Earth key. Junpei didn't see what they had to do with anything, though. Both he and Santo were completely lost. Fortunately, June took pity on them. Don't you remember the elevator? On C-Deck? Yeah. We're gonna take the elevator and go down. Methinks the game cheats. After a little thought, Junpei decided that she had to be nervous about being locked up in a small space alone with a boy. In a way, it was kind of cute. Very demure, he could say, he thought. Still, even though it wasn't exactly roomy in the elevator, they weren't going to be pressed up against one another. At least they didn't have to be. Still, it was making her nervous. Junpei couldn't help but think how innocent she was. Come on, let's go. Again, he stepped toward the elevator. And again, he felt himself restrained. Alright, Cact. I said wait a minute. Why? Aren't you afraid, Jumpy? Afraid of what? Well, I've never, She'd never been in an elevator with a man alone before. Even so, she still seemed awfully alarmed. I might get wet. What? Down there, I'd get soaking wet. Well, I mean, of course you would. That's the way it works. I mean, I've never heard of anyone getting soaking wet somewhere else. That's true. You don't mind? Mind what? Getting wet? Well, I don't know. I think I'd probably, like it. Gosh, Jumpy, you're so brave. Really? I mean, I kind of think any guy would do the same thing, What happens, happens, right? If you get the chance, you gotta go for it. That's what a man's supposed to do, I guess. You're so cool, Jumpy. I really admire you. That doesn't really seem like the sort of thing you ought to admire someone for. I'm really scared. Yeah. I mean, like you said, you've never done it before. Yes. So I don't think I'll be able to last very long, and then it'll be over. Over? Yes. I'll go to heaven. Heaven? Feels kind of like you're floating in space and your mind gets all fuzzy, like when you pass out. At least that's what I've heard from people who've experienced it. Yes, I've heard that too. Although I don't think the same thing happens to guys. What? Huh? But it would happen to men too, wouldn't it? It would happen to anyone. Once it gets into your body, the same thing happens to everyone. Well, I mean, usually it doesn't go inside the man? I mean, generally. Yes, it does. Well, eventually it will. It's not like you really have a choice. Your body will force you to swallow some of it eventually. What are you trying to do to me? Nothing. I'm not going to do anything to you. I'm just saying that's what happens. It's a psychological reaction to what you're experiencing. Was that really how it happened? It occurred to Junpei that perhaps that was how it worked. Perhaps he'd been mistaken all these years. Had he misunderstood life so gravely? The thought terrified him. Jun seemed to be entirely oblivious to Junpei's mounting confusion and terror. I know most men probably have larger lungs, but even then I don't think you could hold your breath for 20 or even 10 minutes. Eventually you'd have to breathe and the water would get into your lungs. Once that happens, your body won't be able to get oxygen anymore, and you'll start to feel that floaty feeling as you pass out. Huh? Huh? Oh, I done goofed. Finally, Junpei understood. He understood what Jun was trying to say and why she was so scared. Yeah, you're right. You wouldn't last very long. See? She was afraid the only elevator pointed down. The only elevator button pointed down. That meant, of course, that the elevator could not go up and would go through the water. Character say you missed like crazily horny. Well, we'd probably get wet up there. Huh? At any rate, we should probably go back. Oh. Why did it let me see that? Alright. Gonna pause here. Run ads. See you in 3 minutes.
The ads have been defeated.
So we might get unlucky. Because I don't know if Andrew's going live at exactly 8. So ads might run as soon as he goes live. But we will try to rate him before the next ads play. We win either way. True. Yeah. I saved while I was in the hospital room, but I'll save here. Samsung likes it long. I don't know. I like Rip My Chicken Hammer. Hammer chicken. You're still on the ship with them. I'll say something different this time. Of course he was. That was obvious. Zero was somewhere on the ship, but Junpei had no idea where. Junpei mumbled to himself, lost in thought. Where could Zero be hiding? Suddenly, everyone went very quiet. The silence was cold and clammy, and Junpei could feel it crawling across his back and around his throat. Again, he heard the ghosting moaning noise. Oh. That is possible. Huh? Like Clover said, Zero might be one of us. What are you saying, Jumpy? Didn't you hear what Ace said?
Exactly. I said we shouldn't suspect one another for no reason.
No reason? I've got a great reason.
And what's that?
The bracelets. Held at his left arm. Why are the bombs in our bodies connected to the bracelets? You're all thinking Zero's hiding somewhere watching us, right? If he's doing that, then he could just detonate the bombs by remote control if someone did something they weren't supposed to. It'd be a lot more precise and a lot easier. But if that's the case, then why is the bomb set off by the detonator in the bracelet?
Huh, you got a point.
I'm not done. Try applying the same ideas to the Nonary game. All of the puzzles here run all by themselves. In other words, Zero doesn't have to be controlling them for the game to move along. Why is that? Why would Zero bother to do something like that? Junpei let the question hang in the air and looked at the others. It was Santa who answered.
So let's say you and Clover are right, Zero's one of us. If that's the case, then it'd be really hard for him to keep track of all of us, or control anything remotely. That's why all the puzzles run by themselves. That's what you're getting at, right?
Yeah. Junpei nodded. 7. When we were talking earlier, you said any one of us could be Snake's killer, right?
Yeah, something like that.
Alright then, I've got a question for you. Ace. You said something like Zero must be the one who killed Snake, right?
Yes, something like that. I can't think of any other explanation.
So what do we get if we combine those? They fit together pretty well, I think. Something like this. Whoever killed Snake is Zero, and whoever that is one of us. 7 and Ace's theories aren't mutually exclusive. They actually complement each other pretty well. At least they do if Zero is one of us. No one spoke. Their faces were grim, but Junpei wasn't sure if they believed him or not. Finally, Lotus spoke up. What were his motives? His motives? Yes. Isn't that pretty important? Why would Zero want to hide as one of us? Oh. Well, that's because, Junpei choked. He hadn't thought of that. He had to be honest with himself. He had no idea. I don't know. Lotus sighed. Well, so much for making a persuasive argument, Junpei.
In other words, you only had circumstantial evidence. I don't really think that's enough to go on, you know.
Junpei was painfully aware of their eyes on him and their disapproval. He tried to find something else, anything else to look at. Just when he felt he could bear it no longer, the clock struck No, it was already midnight. 3.
Then we need to move now. 7, Clover, Junpei. I know how you feel, but you do understand that right now it's important we trust one another, don't you?
Junpei couldn't bring himself to respond. Junpei and June were talking about how it was going to be her first time and how wet she was going to get. He swallowed the words he wanted to say inside. 7 and Clover remained similarly silent. Their eyes were looking at something somewhere else, very far away.
We must go. We have little time left.
So last time we did 6, didn't we? Yes. Okay. Last time we did 6. Yeah, you missed the big convo. And now we do door 1, I think. Yes, we do door 1. You were the deciding vote? I see. My choice is door 1. Santa was unconvinced.
Hey, wait a minute there. You cheating?
Cheating?
I'm asking if you changed your number after you heard what doors we wanted.
How could I do that? I wrote it down on the paper earlier.
Let me see that.
Junpei shrugged and handed it to him. Santa examined it furiously. The others peered at it as well. As they did, Junpei quickly slipped the piece of paper he'd been hiding into his pocket. Although he'd never know it now, Santa had been justified in his suspicions. Junpei had switched the papers. He had prepared 3 pieces of papers for door 1, 2, and 6, and put the paper with door 6 on it into the pot. He put a small mark on it so that he would know which one was his. He put the paper that said door 1 in his left hand and the paper that read door 2 in his right. When the drawing began, he saw to it that he drew last. The rest was easy. If he wanted to go into door 1, he'd use his left hand, and his right hand if he wanted to go into door 2. Of course, if he wanted door 6, that would be simple. All he'd need to do was switch nothing and say 6 had been what he wanted all along. Well, what does it say? He fought the urge to smirk.
Huh, you got lucky.
Santa snorted and tossed the paper aside, frustrated.
Very well, we've decided who will go through door 1. It will be Clover, Junpei, and myself.
1, 4, and 5 equals 10. 1 plus 0 equals 1.
Our only problem is the remaining 2 teams.
June and I want door 6.
Lotus and I want door 2.
That's not good. We can't open either of those doors with only 2 people. Fine. 7 will go through door 6.
Sure thing. I didn't really want to go through door 2 anyway. Besides, if we got a younger girl with us, it'll lower the average age. Right, June?
Well, June was at a loss for words. Lotus was not. That pig. You just wait and see. Her eyes were the eyes of a woman prepared to kill. A shiver ran down Junpei's spine. Damn. Why does he keep calling Lotus old? It's so mean. Even after they separated at the staircase, Lotus was still muttering angrily to herself. Circumstances dictated that Junpei and June would have had to part ways again, but this time it didn't sting quite so much. After all, he knew he would see her again.
Till we find that 9 doors, 0 ain't gonna split us up. We might get separated for a little while, but we'll see each other again.
Yeah.
Otherwise, we can't open door 9. That's how the nonary game works.
Junpei, Ace, and Clover headed toward A deck. They took out the earth key and opened the door to the left. It opened, and they walked through. It was just as Santa and Lotus had said. At the end of the hallway sat a door with a large red 1 upon it, a numbered door. To the left of it, bolted to the wall, was the red. Ace went first and waved his wrist over the scanner panel. Junpei was next. Finally, listlessly, Clover lifted her arm. She leaned toward the scanner panel. The third asterisk clicked to life, shining brightly. Ace took hold of the lever. He took a deep breath and turned to Junpei and Clover.
Are you ready? Shall I pull it?
Yeah, any time. Clover said nothing. She nodded, little more than a lethargic twitch of her head.
Very well then, let's go. 3, 2, 1.
The door opened. They stumbled into the room. Frantically, Junpei scanned the room. His eyes stopped on the device that would determine whether they'd live or die. There it is! Over there! Next to the door they'd come through was the dead. As one, they ran to it, put their hands over it as they were fighting for it. Oof. It stopped.
Yes, it did.
Junpei could feel his heart pounding against the inside of his ribs. Ace and Clover were breathing hard and fast. It was the third time they'd been through the process, but they had yet to grow accustomed to it. Not that Junpei wanted to. He planned to finish the game before he got a chance to let imminent death become commonplace. Junpei looked around again, this time more slowly. There was another door, different from the one they'd entered through. He took hold of the knob and easily, gently pulled it open. So this is the wheelhouse? He closed the door again and turned to Ace and Clover. He fixed each in turn with a meaningful stare, then spoke. Ace, you investigate the wheelhouse next door.
Very well.
Clover, you're in charge of this room.
Say something.
Oh, okay, I will. Alright then. Let's get started.
Seek a way out.
Alright. New puzzles. That's a lot of drawers. A stack of natural charts. I think this is a nautical chart. There's this line on it here. I think the line is the route the ship is supposed to take. There are these dots all over the map. Oh, those are probably ports, like for a boat to stop at. It looks like the lines connect the dots. A light. Looks kind of like a wilted flower. A chair. A chair. Clover isn't talking much. Well, I guess that's understandable. I mean, she's been through a lot. Really, it's more surprising that she's still together enough to talk at all. Little slug. They get really mad with 3 and 4? Oh no. Actually, hold on. Which one do I have on Steam? Oh, I have 3. I remember playing it and being like, dude, I can't beat like the last level. I was getting real sad. Oh, these ports are different. A world map with the Atlantic Ocean in the center. There are a number of red pins in several locations. What do these red pins mean? Well, the nautical charts I picked up earlier have a map like this one. Maybe one of them matches up to the pins or something. Let's see. Well, what do you know? Looks like this one's a match to the pins. Okay, so we've got 7 locations connected by straight lines. And each one has a word next to it. That's probably the speed. New material has been added to the file screen. Yeah, bless free play for real. So wait, where does it stop? Oh, okay. It starts all the way in the east. So full speed south, half speed left, or half speed west, slow southwest, full northwest, half east, dead? Dead speed? Is dead really a speed? That sounds weird. I have high respect for people that can do it deathless. Yeah. Like, once you learn all the spawns and stuff for like enemies and weapons, you get so good at it. Like I could do hitless runs of Time Crisis 2 back when I was playing it like every fucking day. I love that game so much. It's a wooden box. Maybe a case for letters? Hey, Clover, you ever write letters? Nothing. You have Time Crisis 2 and 3? Yeah, I never bought 3, cuz that's the PS3 one, right? With the new gun that had like the crazy sensors on it. Or is that 4? The shelves are lined with books. Let's see what's in this blue one. Something written on it. Ship's log. 3 is PS2 as well. Okay, so yeah, I'm thinking of 4 then. Cause 4 they put like a whole joystick on the gun and you use that to like move around. It was crazy. Huh. Ship's log, huh? New material has been added to the file screen. Ship's log. Ship's log found in the current chart room. The following is written on the last page. We leave soon for a new journey across the sea. After leaving port, we headed south and west. Turned southwest to steer around the continent, then proceeded northwest. We made port, then changed our heading to east for a time, and are now heading due north. Soon we'll dock in the United Kingdom, the homeland of this vessel. Oh shit! They're going to British. A pocket watch. That's a pocket watch. She sure hasn't been saying much. She just keeps looking at the floor. She seems kind of sad. A voice he hadn't expected startled Junpei from his examination of the pocket watch.
Oh, a pocket watch. Might I take a look at it?
He spun around to find Ace standing in the doorway. Junpei shrugged and handed him the pocket watch. PS3 also gave us Move. Yeah, but I think Time Crisis 4 came out before the Move was like a thing. Hey man, what are you doing over in this room?
Oh, I just thought I'd come check up on the two of you. Is there a problem?
Yeah, there is. Ace's eyebrows went up. You checked on us, now get out of here. We split this stuff up for a reason, alright? It was a lie. There was no reason to split up the work. Junpei wanted to talk to Clover privately. That was why he'd sent Ace to the wheelhouse. There was something he meant to ask Clover, and he didn't want anyone else to hear him ask it. He also knew that Clover would likely remain silent if there was anyone else around when he asked. That was why he was so desperate to send Ace back to the wheelhouse. Ace opened his mouth, then took another look at Junpei and shut it again. A small smirk appeared on his face. Wait, was that the right option? I hope it was.
Oh, I see, of course.
He looked Junpei over, then glanced at Clover.
I apologize for the intrusion. Well, best of luck.
Tell you about secret elevator in Symphony of the Night. A secret elevator? The one in the second castle? Ace gave Junpei a knowing pat on the shoulder and left. Wait, shit, was that the right choice? Let me look something up real quick. Okay, I don't think... Maybe it doesn't matter. Hopefully it doesn't matter. It's normally guarded by a non-respawn enemy early game. Huh, interesting. Phew. Junpei let out a sigh and brushed a few drops of sweat from his forehead. He turned and found himself looking straight into Clover's eyes. She'd heard what Ace had said. She regarded Junpei with caution. What was that about? She was clearly suspicious, and with good reason. Junpei's eyes widened, and he held up his hands in a gesture of innocence. Oh, no, it's not like that. What's it like then? I just wanted to hear the rest of that story. I didn't get a chance to ask you about it until now. What story? About the experiment. Remember the one you started to tell me in the operating room? Said something about an experiment that happened here 9 years ago. Clover bit her lip. She stared down at the floor for several long moments, and when she spoke it was barely audible. I'm sorry, but I don't want to talk about that right now. I'm just not in the mood, okay? You understand, right? I keep thinking about my brother. I can't stop. I mean, who would do something like that to my brother? I can't forgive them. I'm not going to let them get away with it. They're going to pay for it, I promise. So... Her shoulders were shaking. Drops of blood had sprung up on her lips where she was biting them. She wiped it off and looked at Junpei, her eyes fierce and angry. Junpei? Who do you think did it? Her voice was cold and scarcely above a whisper. Junpei gulped. Well, if what Seven had said was right, then there would have to be at least 2 of them. You need at least 3 people to open the numbered doors, and if you subtract Snake, that means there were at least 2 other people. You're right. So what does that mean? Well, if we just look at the bracelet numbers, we should be able to figure it out. Who could have opened door 3 with Snake? Well, really, who and who? Or who and who? You mean it could have been 4 people? Well, technically it's possible. I don't know. That doesn't seem very likely. Why? I'll tell you later. Why don't we just assume it was only 2 other people for now? Okay, got it. Let's do that then. Then who do you think it could be? Junpei crossed his arms in thought. I really like Clover in 99 Shine. She is smart, which you can see in scenes like this. VLR, they made her dumb for no reason. Sobs, I thought in VLR Clover acts the way she does because of Lotus. Like, didn't she say she was really inspired by Lotus? And that's why her outfit looks like that? Snake's bracelet number was 2. Which 2 bracelet numbers added to 2 would give it a digital root of 3. Which 2 bracelet numbers added to 2 would give it a digital root of 3. It's Ace and, Wait, what the fuck? It's Ace and the 9-Man. Why is that not a choice? That should totally be a choice. Because fuck 9? Okay, well, so if Snake is 2, Ace and Santa would be 6, so that doesn't work. Ace and June, 8 plus 2 is 9. That doesn't work. I don't mean the outfit. She is genuinely stupid in so many cases. I would have to replay it, because it's been like a decade at this point. Ace and... Wait. Sorry, that's 1 and 6. So it actually could... No, it couldn't. Right? Because that's 7 plus 2. Yeah, 7 plus 2 is 9. That doesn't work. Ace and 7, though, is 10, or yeah, that's 10, so that's 1. Ace and Lotus, that's 9 plus 2, 11, so that's 2. Santa and June, 3 and 7, 10 plus 2. Oh shit. Wait, no. Sorry. I keep thinking June is 7, it's 6. I'm stupid. So Santa and 7 is a possibility. Is it the only possibility on here? Because yeah, Santa and June, that's 3 and 6, it's 9 plus 2, that's 11, so no, that doesn't work. But this is 10 plus 2, so 12, that would equal 3. Which means this would be 4. June and 7, 6 and 7 is 13 plus 2, 15, so that's 6. And that would be 16, so that's 7. And then 7 and Lotus, 15 plus 2. Yeah. So now it can only be this, right? Santa and 7? Would it be Santa and 7? 3. Could it be? Were Santa and 7 the killers? What's wrong? Clover looked at Junpei and he looked back at her. I don't think it was them. I still think Ace picked up the Ninth Man's bracelet and then somehow he used that bracelet, his own, and Snake's to push him in. There was no point in hiding it. He told her his conclusions. That's what I thought. She looked less surprised than he'd expected. Santa and 7. If it was 2 people, then that's the only combination that works. Hey, wait a minute there. Don't you think it's a little too early to be jumping to conclusions? Well, all I said is that those 2 would have been able to open door 3 with your brother. There might be other possibilities. Didn't know waiters are taught so much about antimatter reactors. It's a coffee machine. Yeah, like I said, I can't remember because it's been a long time since I played that game. Well, what other possibilities? He didn't have an answer. He was ready to admit defeat when Clover spoke. Are you saying you think that it was 3 or 4 people? I really don't think that's likely. Why? Can I borrow your pen and paper? Clover put her hand out expectantly. Junpei pulled out his pen and pad of paper and handed it to her. She opened the notebook and wrote down several simple addition problems. Eventually, she had 8, which provided a digital root of 3. A 2 plus 1 plus 3 plus 6. Okay, it's just gonna repeat everything that's written down. What's this? These are combinations for 3 or 4 people. These 8 combinations are the only possible ones. I see. Junpei. Yeah? I can trust you, right? Of course. Why would you need to ask that? Really? Yeah. So then I should get rid of B, D, G, and H, right? Of course. Just cross them out. And you should take off yours too, the ones with 4. So, what does that leave? A and D. 2 plus 1, 3, 6, and 12. 2 plus 1, 3, 7, 8. Wait. It can't be A. Why not? Because June's in that one. There's no way in hell she'd do something like that. Are you sure? I'd bet my life on it. Okay then. Then I can cross off A too, right? Yeah. Well, what have we got left? E. So Ace, 7, and Lotus? And Santa? Do you know what this means? Everybody besides me, you, and June would be working together. Do you think that's likely? If there were 4 people working together, they wouldn't be very cautious. I don't think they'd try that hard to hide what they were doing if they outnumbered us, right? Well, you do have a point. And besides, if Ace and 7 are working together, they could have easily gotten rid of me when I went to the shower room with them. But they didn't. They didn't even try anything. If they were the killers, why wouldn't they? Her voice was calm, but Junpei had only to look her in the eye to know it was a forced calm. There were tears forming at the corners of her eyes, and she was blinking furiously to keep them back. Perhaps by attempting an objective analysis of who might have killed her brother, she'd had been able to distance herself from the harsh reality of his death. The more she struggled to act unconcerned, the more Junpei felt his heart tighten. Okay. Yeah, well, that does make sense. It seems pretty unlikely that it was as many as 3 or 4 people. Yeah. Then that means there's a good chance it was Santa and 7. That's how it looks. But why would they do it? There was a moment of silence. I think I know. What is it? He laid his hand gently on her shoulder. He was close, so close to the answer. When Ace chose the worst possible moment to return. He raised a knowing eyebrow and then spoke.
Have I interrupted something?
What do you want?
There was something I wanted to speak with you about, Junpei. Could you come with me for a moment?
He turned on his heel and walked back toward the wheelhouse. Junpei looked over at Clover, gave her a short nod, hoped that she would be willing to talk to him again later, and followed Ace. What did you want to talk about? Ace looked at Junpei and smiled. Perhaps more of a smirk than a smile.
There was something I wanted to check.
Yeah, what's that?
If you'll excuse me.
With no warning, Ace slipped his hand into the pocket of Junpei's vest. Hey! What the hell are you doing? He reached for Ace's arm. But it was already too late. In the older man's hand were the pieces of paper Junpei had balled up and hidden in his pocket.
Just as I thought. You switched them, didn't you? When we voted. Ah, well, I can't say that I care. I managed to get through the numbered door I wanted, despite your mischief.
Why did you?
Oh, simply curiosity. I hope you won't think ill of me for it.
Ace smiled, gave Junpei a friendly pat on the shoulder, and then turned on his heel and left. Huh? It was a small defeat, but it was a defeat. Junpei had lost the upper hand, and he knew it. He could feel his stomach begin to tense. I guess that was their way of saying, explore this room now.
This isn't good. So many drawers, but nothing inside of them.
There's another room on the other side of the window.
A compass.
Lotus is 0 now. I won't accept the game saying otherwise. That's funny.
A compass. It appears to be broken, however. You see, the glass cover has been smashed to pieces.
The helm.
Well, steering wheel might be a more appropriate term.
Ah, my pocket watch goes into this pocket watch shaped hole. Looks like this is some sort of lock. It's got a weird shaped indentation on it. Huh? The shape. Maybe it does look like the pocket watch would fit here. Nothing.
I imagine the pocket watch is intended to go in there. However, we may need to do something with the watch first.
Ah. So find the time.
An engine order telegraph. They use this on old ships to adjust the speed of the ship.
Like the gear shift in a car?
Well, it's a little different. This device doesn't connect directly to the engine. In short, it's a transmitter. The navigation officer uses it to set the speed of the ship and sends a signal to the engine. There's a handle on top of it, which can be moved back and forth to...
Hold on.
Uh-huh.
There's no handle.
You're right, there isn't. It looks as though it was deliberately removed.
So we have to find a handle. Steering wheel. See if it... Whoa! Looks like the steering wheel moves.
So it would seem. I noticed something else as well.
What's that?
Damn. Well, when you move this wheel, the compass also moves.
What do you mean?
The ship, it's moving. Tricked you, didn't I?
The wheel and the compass must be connected to one another somehow?
Do you think that's important?
Well, let's try turning it again. Shouldn't I not fuck with this? Wait, does it have the... Okay, I do have this, so... But I need the thing to be in the navigation thing. Compass. Looks like it's connected to the helm. So maybe... Steering wheel, steering wheel. If we move it, then the direction changes. Had directions on it. Maybe if I enter directions in that order. Dude, I had to memorize the whole thing? Are you serious? I really wish I had a picture of it. Or like you were able to bring up a file while you were in here. Yeah, okay, hold on. I'm gonna take a picture with my phone.
Nothing's happening. Junpei, this is almost certainly one of Zero's puzzles.
Wait, he's not starting till 8:30? Oh no! Cause I have to go at 8:30. I had to be ready for something else.
There must be a clue here, somewhere that'll help us solve it. You found anything? Perhaps something with the points of the compass on it?
Have I found anything with the points of a compass? Well, yeah, it's this. Alright. I need to take a picture of this. Because I assume that this is the solution. So yeah, first we go south. And then we go west. Then we go southwest. Then northwest. Then east. And that's it, right? Please don't tell me that north is the very end. Maybe it is, just in case. Wait, what the fuck? It didn't let me stop it! Bro. That's weird, why is it? Oh my god. Something with the compass points on it? That is what he means, and maybe it would show the order, what I'm supposed to enter the stuff in. Dude, no, oh. Get out of here. I swear I hit stop when it was going north. So yeah. We headed south, and then west, and then southwest, then northwest, then east, and then north. Ugh. Fine, we'll do it again. Damn touch controls. South, then west, then southwest, then northwest, then we went east, and then we ended with north. Bro, what? Okay. Oh, okay, good. I was about to lose it, man. The handle came off. Stooping so low, aren't you, Zero? Well, why don't you play Minecraft? Handle that came out the steering wheel. A handle? I wonder if it goes in that handle-shaped hole in this thing. So, sure hope this handle fits. Yes, it fits.
Excellent. That should allow us to operate the engine order telegraph.
Let's just give it a shot. So, okay. This one was full. Then half. Then slow. Full. Then half. Then dead slow. And then stop. Huh? That's weird. I thought I put in the right speed. Did I mess up?
No, I don't think so. Look. Something's happened on the back wall of the wheelhouse.
Yeah, you're right. Check it out. 5%. Ah. What happened on the wall behind me?
This room is just like the other one. Metal plates bolted over the windows.
Heck, not just
bolted, it looks like they've been welded on. No way in hell are we going to get those off anytime soon.
There's something on the wall that looks kind of like an arrival board. There are a whole bunch of words on the left side of the display. What the hell is this?
They're names of ports across the world. I imagine it's showing us the ship's route. You know, just like the ones you might see at an airport. Departing XX, carrier XX, flight XX at XX. Like that.
Oh, I get it. It does look like those are the names of all the ports along the ship's route. Looks like only one of those has a time on it, though.
The time on the last line, right? 10 seconds past 3 o'clock. Perhaps that's the arrival time.
Aha! So now... Oh, it's already set to that. So yeah, now this should just work. Put the pocket watch in this hole, but... Wait, what? Why not? This thing won't budge. Feels like there's something keeping it in place.
What would be the point in moving it? The ship has stopped. What would be the use of steering it?
Yeah, I know, still. Wait, what the fuck did he say changed? It's a wooden board with a circular hole in it. Oh, the compass? Engine order telegraph. I don't really think I need to be messing with that right now. What the what? What am I missing? So, okay. There's that room, there's this room. There's over here. What did you exactly do with the wall display? I looked at it. On the left side, it got the names of the ports the ship will stop at along its route. Last line says 10 seconds past 3 o'clock. That must be the estimated time of arrival at the final port.
Oh, perhaps.
Whoa, what's he doing?
Excuse me, Junpei.
Hey, he just took my pocket watch. Hey, the hell are you doing?
Just trust me. Should be fine now.
Well, thanks for giving me the pocket watch back, but you don't need to look so smug about it. Let's see what he... Oh, he moved the hands. 10 seconds past 3. Oh, so he changed it to match the final arrival time. Ace nodded slowly.
You know what to do next, right?
I knew what to do before. I should have just been able to change the fucking time by myself.
Give it a shot.
He took a favor, he took your watch. Oh no. No, I think Junpei tried to give that to June. Looks like this is some sort of lock. It's got a weird shaped indentation on it. Actually, it's shaped just like this pocket watch I've got. Dude, is he crazy? I'm confused why I didn't do that in the first place, but sure. Yeah, exactly. Like, I feel like Junpei is smart enough to know what he needs to do with the watch. At this point, he's been through, what, 4 escape rooms? Yes, it says open now.
Good work. It seems you were successful. Well done, Junpei.
Hey, Clover. What? Look, we unlocked the door. Now we can get out of this room. Oh. Well, let's go then. Clover? Wait, what's wrong? Why is she sad? The space they found themselves in outside the wheelhouse was far too narrow to be called a hallway. On their left was a wooden door. Junpei pushed it open and stepped into the room beyond. Because there's no Taco Bell and she had a craving. It was full of all manner of turn-of-the-century electronic equipment. Most of them were things they'd never seen before. They had no idea what they might have been for, let alone how to operate them. Oh, a telegraph. One smaller machine had a metal bar that ended in a circular handle. Ace seemed to recognize it.
Oh yes, a telegraph key. These were used to transmit Morse code a long time ago.
He turned and slowly took in the room.
This must be the communication office.
I always want Taco Bell, but there's not one close by. So I am depressed. Across the room from the door they'd entered through was another door. A metal plaque was nailed to it. It read, Captain's Quarters. The Captain's Quarters? That's what it says.
Then do you think...
I am Zero, the captain of this ship.
Ace swallowed. Junpei could feel his hands begin to sweat. Only Clover seemed unaffected.
Well, we won't know if we don't open it.
She walked up to the door and put her hand on the knob. It opened easily, and without so much as a pause she walked in. Junpei and Ace followed. The first thing they saw was a man on the floor covered in blood. Junpei felt his body seize up. His mouth went dry and he felt very, very cold. The blood in his veins slowed to a crawl and his heart tightened like a fist. This was the third time he'd seen the horror of death laid out before him. He didn't think it was something he could stand to see much more of. Still, he had begun to accept that whatever it was he saw, whatever happened to him was beyond his control, and whatever force controlled him was driven by a determination that he could not hope to match. A sense of helplessness, of desperation washed over him. It left behind a feeling of utter emptiness that wormed its way through his body like acid. Then he realized they had yet to check the man's pulse. Perhaps he was still alive. Fueled by that spark of hope, Junpei ran to the man's body, and his heart fell. His fingers on the man's neck left no pulse. His pupils had dilated, and he wasn't breathing. Junpei lifted the man's already stiff body. There was a deep red wound on his chest. Junpei did not have to wonder long at what could have made such a wound. Hey, that's a fucking bracelet. You'll see that under his sleeve, right? For lying next to the corpse was an axe. The entire blade of it was drenched in bright red blood. From the shape of the man's wound, there could be no doubt that it had been made by that axe. Junpei looked at the body again. A lake of blood stretched out around it. It was wearing the clothes of a ship's captain, although they were stained with blood. A captain? Did that mean that this man was Zero? On his left hand was a bracelet. The number on the bracelet was 0. It was only then that Junpei noticed the stench of blood that filled the room. He couldn't help but laugh. There was nothing else for him to say. It was too simple, too obvious, too straightforward. If there hadn't been a dead man on the floor, Junpei might have thought it was a joke. I can't believe Zero killed Zero. We've got ourselves a locked room murder case. Just like Detective Conan. Alright, well, if Andrew's not starting up, I'll run ads again, and then I'll figure out what I'm gonna do. So, be right back.
The ads have once again been defeated.
Welcome back, gang. Yame, you missed a lot. We are at the very top of the ship in the captain's quarters. And there is a dead captain here. The control panel for the electric lock. Guess I've got to put in a passcode. I don't think it's just about numbers. There's a hole in the bottom of it right there. I think you need to put a key in first. Because I wasn't notified for some reason. Aww. Yeah, I don't know how Twitch does notifications. Because I know some people tell me, like, they get updated when I change, like, the status of the game I'm playing. But I didn't do that at the start of the stream. A camcorder. It looks like it's pointed at the door. Well, the power's on. Why would someone want to videotape a door? Maybe videotape the password, Junpei. Come on. So this is the exit, huh? Don't even really have to try this door to know that it's locked. Oh. I knew it. I knew shit was locked. There's blood on the chair. Do you think this was the dead guy's? Yeah, probably. Boom, 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 boom. It's a music box. Oh, it's one of those old music boxes. How about we wind it up? Why does it sound like that? Is it broken? The pins on the cylinder are shaped all weird. I don't think those are pins. It looks like someone put something else on top of it. I think we're gonna have to take it apart to figure out what's going on, don't you? Damn, we're gonna have to destroy this music box? It's a lamp. But it doesn't turn on. I don't think there's anything special about it. Why was she so sad about the lamp? A bed. There's nothing in it. Whoa. What's the deal with this? Is it some kind of code? There are 4 rows of numbers and letters. They all start with a 0 and end with an 8FN or 8FN or V respectively. Maybe this has something to do with number bases? New material has been added to the file screen. This is hexadecimal, isn't it? Yeah. That's gonna take me a minute to figure out. Up to line 2 it could be. There's a bunch of weird buttons on here. Probably switch what you see on the screens. Do you know how to work this thing? Why don't we just press one of these? Like this one. Whoa. Well, I guess it does change the... What the hell is this? Heh. Junpei snorted with grim humor for the second time since he came into the room. The 4 screens along the bottom had a single letter each spelling out 0. Junpei felt as though he was being mocked. The real villain was somewhere, laughing at him. What do you think? He turned to Clover, who was standing next to him. Her voice was almost too low to hear. Nothing. It seemed that she cared about little. Of course, Junpei could hardly blame her. Well, like I said, This route that I'm doing right now, I have to do again in order to beat the game. So you'll see it the second time we do it. Given the strain she was surely under, Junpei was somewhat surprised she had responded at all. Still, he had to ask. He gestured toward the corpse. What about him? Do you think that's really Zero? Clover shook her head weakly. There's no way that's him. Didn't I tell you already? Zero's one of us. Yeah, right. Well, even if he wasn't one of us, there's no way that man could be Zero. Don't you get it? The letters that spell Zero on the TV screen. The captain's clothes he's got on. And of course the bracelet with a 0 on it. It's too obvious. Look, this is Zero right here. This dead body is Zero. Doesn't that seem kind of funny to you? You're right. Only an idiot wouldn't see through something like that. No, that's not the point. I'm not trying to make fun of them for thinking a trick like this would work. I'm sure they didn't think it would work, which makes me wonder, why did they do it? I think this is a challenge. A challenge from the person who's really behind all of this. He's making fun of us. Don't you get it? If whoever killed this guy really wanted us to think this corpse was Zero, they'd never have put a bracelet on him. Walking about with a 0 bracelet would be like hanging a sign around your neck that said, I did it. Anyone with a brain would be able to see that this guy's supposed to look like everything Zero is supposed to be. Just like we did. The killer must have known we wouldn't think he was Zero and put the bracelet on him anyway. Do you know why? Oh no! Why? Like I said, he's mocking us. Too bad, suckers. This isn't Zero. It's the same bad joke a lot of criminals like to play. They'll just sit back and watch people run in circles. Look, here I am. What's wrong, guys? Come on, catch me if you can. That's really twisted. But it almost seems kind of childish. Yeah, you're right. It's really childish. It's like it's just a game to whoever this person is. That's what seems funny to me. Junpei bent down next to the corpse. Alright, let's get back to the point. Who killed this man? I don't know. And what's this guy's deal? Who is he? How would I know that? If I knew anything, I would have told you. You have no idea who he is? Why would I? Junpei sat back on his haunches and thought, we should check and see if he's got anything on him that might help us tell us who he is. Give me a hand here, Clover. What? We've got to flip him over. How else are we going to search his pockets? Clover didn't move. Junpei had no choice but to move the body on his own. He grabbed hold of an area not completely covered in blood and shoved. It took a moment, but eventually Junpei felt the man's bulk begin to shift. But just as it did, something fell from the man's left wrist. The bracelet with 0 on the face. Lastly, let us discuss how to remove the bracelets. Oh no, this was Snake. There are only 2 ways to do so. 1, you escape from this ship. 2, your heart rate reaches 0. In other words, once the bracelet is taken outside the confines of the ship, or detects that its wearer's heartbeat has fallen to 0, it will shut down automatically. Junpei stared at the bracelet. This man, he's dead, isn't he? Huh? No, it's just, I guess I didn't really think about it until right now. If his bracelet's off, that means he's dead. Well, it's pretty obvious that he's dead. You don't really need to look at his bracelet to figure out that. That was written weird. Yeah, I guess you're right. It is pretty obvious. He looks a lot better than the other bodies you've seen through, you know? I mean, if there wasn't all this blood, he'd almost look as if he was still alive. I mean, I know it's kind of messed up. Kind of a messed up thing to say, but he kind of has it better, you know? Dying from a bomb going off inside you, I mean, that's just... Some of Snake's bones went right through his skin. I think the explosion must have thrown him against a wall or something. Why would you say this to her? There's a broken bone just sticking out of his left arm. Suddenly, Junpei realized what he was saying. How could he have been so cruel? He clapped his hands over his mouth. But it was already too late. He turned to look at Clover. She was glaring at him furiously. What did you just say? Her words sounded cold. He knew an apology could hardly atone for what he'd done, but he tried anyway. Oh man, I'm so sorry. I shouldn't have said that. I really didn't know what I was saying. What I was thinking, I mean. No, that's not what I'm talking about. What did you say about his arm? Arm? Yes, his left arm. You said it, didn't you? Well, yeah, I did, but... I mean, didn't you see it too? Of course not. I could barely look at him. Clover took a quick, deep breath. Are you sure it was his left arm? Junpei thought back. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was. And he had a broken bone, right? What the hell are you getting at here? Just shut up and answer me. She shoved her face closer to his. He could see the fire in her eyes. Junpei winced and swallowed. Yeah, he did. It was pretty bad, too. The bone was sticking out of the arm. No sooner were the words out of his mouth than Clover's expression changed. Suddenly, she was crying. Junpei wasn't sure what to do. Thank you. It was close to the last thing he had expected to hear. Junpei had no idea what had just happened. He didn't think he'd done anything worthy of thanks, and he couldn't understand why she would have chosen that moment to begin crying. So he simply stood there, confused. Thank you, Junpei. She thanked him again, and then something even stranger happened. Clover threw herself into Junpei's surprised arms. Hey, what's going on with you? I'm sorry, it's just... I'm so happy. Why? The body in the shower room. It isn't his. It isn't my brother. Huh? It's not Snake. Why on earth would you think that? Because his left arm is... She stopped herself. I'm sorry. I really shouldn't be talking about this. Junpei decided it would be prudent not to press her for any more information. She did not wish to tell him. She certainly had a reason for doing so. Perhaps more importantly, however, if Clover was so certain, then she was likely right. That meant that the body in the shower room wasn't Snake. It wasn't much, but that knowledge lifted some of the weight from Junpei's heart. He's still alive. I'm so happy. Tears shone in her eyes. Those tears melted Junpei's heart. As she cried, she had pushed herself up against his chest like a child. Junpei put his arms around her and held her tight. Junpei, you were right. No matter what happens, you can never lose hope. You have to remember what's most important, and that's to have faith and to have love. If you can remember all of those, that will bring you good luck. Clover reached into her pocket and pulled something out. It was a laminated bookmark with a 4-leaf clover. I only made it here because you gave me this. I was suspicious of everybody, and I was angry and miserable, but because I had this 4-leaf clover, because of what you said to me, Junpei hadn't thought his words would have had such an effect on her. her words were making him feel a little awkward.
Thank you so much, Junpei.
She looked up at him. He scratched his nose and pretended to notice something interesting somewhere else in the room. If you really want to thank somebody, you should be thanking Santa.
Santa? Why?
Well, he was the one who gave me that thing. And the words for each leaf, I got that from him too. Huh? Then suddenly, Clover broke away from Junpei. Huh? He looked confused. He hadn't thought she'd react that poorly. Clover began to pace across the room. 6 steps to the left. 6 steps to the right. Another 6 to the left. And then she stopped.
Did Santa really say those things?
Her eyes were serious, but not angry. Yeah, he did. Did I, say something wrong?
Oh, no, not at all. In fact, this could be really good news. I think.
You think?
Santa knew about the words and the clover. The only people who should know about that are the other subjects.
Subjects?
The other people who were in the experiment 9 years ago with my brother and me. But he's blind, and I was part of the Nevada test group, so neither of us would be able to recognize the faces of the people who were on this boat.
Whoa, time out. Junpei held up his hands. He took a deep breath and let it out. Let's just calm down for a second, okay? Start from the top. Don't start with the end, and then jump to the middle. You gotta start at 1, and then move to 2, and 3, and then 4, and so on. If you don't tell me stuff in the right order, I'm never gonna be able to figure it out. Clover nodded. Alright, let's start with this experiment. I don't know when this cutscene is gonna end. And I think, is Andrew's stream live yet? I don't see it. 'Cause, like, I feel like this is a good place to pause it if I'm gonna raid him. Just to have, like, a cliffhanger for next time. 'Cause, like, I have to start in about 6 minutes. Yeah, I have to start my stuff in 6 minutes. That's the thing. So, okay. Yeah, I'm gonna save it here. Do a delayed raid? Maybe. Would you like to quit? Yes. I'm just gonna double check that it saves right there. Okay, perfect. Yeah, so that's good. Nope. Once the camera turns on, we post the message. Well, no, so we still have to agree on the message, which means I'm running the poll. Where is it? New poll. Raid message. Oh, it's so loud. Hashtag Samsung likes long, and then rip chicken hammer. Let's see. 2-minute long poll. Get your votes in, chat. Yeah, It really sucks that you only came in for the very end of the stream. But it's okay. I think the next day I'm gonna stream is either probably Thursday or Friday. I haven't decided yet. So while I'm doing this, let me start getting Final Fantasy ready. Because I will get in trouble if I am late. I wouldn't be able to join Friday due to school. Okay. Maybe I can do Thursday then. Or I could always start later on Friday too. Like, kind of like I did last week. Really don't like the controller controls? For what? Oh, get out of here, Final Fantasy. You're blocking 999. Let's see. Login. One to 5. Ah, okay. Yeah, so, okay. Maybe we'll just do Thursday then. Holy 71 votes? What what the hell? Alright, well, I'm gonna need to find things for people to spend channel points on so Mlat doesn't get to pick every single raid message. Let's see, is he live yet? No. That's a lot of buttons. Let me actually back out of this so it stops doing that. Here. I'll just put it on Final Fantasy while we wait. Yeah, the music in the opening is really cool. I like it. Is party up? Oh yeah, it is. Wait. No, it should be this, right? Blah blah blah. Yeah. Have the little raid in between it. Yeah, this looks good. Was this your 8:30 obligation? Playing with these chumps instead of us. Wow, that's rude. Yeah, this is my raid group that I have Tuesdays through Thursdays at 8:30. So is this live yet? Search. No, I don't see him. Dang. Oh, he just went live. Let's try again. Da 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 da. Brother, why can't I find this fucking channel? There we go. Alright, everybody, you know the message. Get in there and have a good night. Go, 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 go!